he says you were making fun of me.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
No, I actually enjoy you. I know that sounds weird from somebody who may have works in Hollywood some, but no, well, what I do is I kind of do the opposite of what you do. I believe. No, I mean that in a good way. My job as this isn't going well, is it? I feel like when I'm watching You Want O'Reilly and you turn to the camera and make one of those faces and stick out your tongue like what? And then point to him. It's my job in Vegas, especially, is to make people forget about a lot of this stuff, which one thing that you've really done for me is I read books about the Constitution and stuff like that I'd never done before. I always, just assumed everything was okay. I kind of did that on purpose with Bush because it was with George Bush, it was such a gravy train for me that if I didn't pay attention, heck, I couldn't take sides, So it really that was my mantra. Is if I didn't know what was going on, I really because I would have people come to me in the same show go, "You love President Bush, don't you?" And I'd be like, "Well," and then it's the same show. People come to me and go, "Oh, you hate that guy, don't you?" And I'd be, that's kind of what I strove for.
Yeah, that's why I like. Quite honestly, that's why I like The Simpsons. Because I know they can wreck my side, but they'll come right back and they'll wreck the other side, and I think that's great.
Yeah, and I don't. Yeah, I one thing that when people, because I told my brother that my brother is going to be on the show. He's like, "That guy's crazy. He's constantly crying." I'm like, "Well, I don't think he's always crying. I think that's what people pick up on." It's well, I've been working. Well, here's what the bit is in the show. Well, I started because to ease the tensions with people because I found that. I would say something about, I'd say, I really miss, I was watching President Obama the other day, and I really miss President Bush. And it gets a mixed reaction. Now, the reaction's changed quite a bit. So what I had to do was I had to go to, we're very divided, I'd say, right after that. And we've got, I'm going to separate you guys, MSNBC audience over here, Fox News people over here. It's Olbermann versus O'Reilly. Let me tell you something, brother. So I did that. And then one show there was just a guy who just kept going, "You forgot about Glenn Beck." And I was like, okay, we've got Glenn Beck guy over here. And he's like, "It's a conspiracy. They've got you watching with one hand and they're doing something with the other." So that was the whole beginning.
Wait a minute, that doesn't sound that doesn't sound anything like me.
It's Glenn Beck guy. It's a guy who loves
Glenn Beck guy. Okay.
No, I've been working on the Glenn Beck a little bit. It's when you get excited, that's the first thing that you pick up on when you do impressions is you find the more caricature part of the person because you will be when you're serious and really intense about something, you'll repeat it. But then what'll happen is it'll die down, you'll sigh, and then you'll tell a personal anecdote. So.
Wait a minute. There's a formula to me?
Well, there's a formula to everybody. That's why a lot of people don't like me. But there's a thing where you...
Wait. This is going to drive me crazy now. Well, I have to know what it is again. I get excited. I repeat it.
And you repeat things, okay? So you'll be like... you'll be intense. Barack Obama wants to fundamentally transform this country. Transform it into what? Transform it into what? I was shadowboxing my nephew the other day. And then he'll somehow turn it into something about Gold Line or a crisis garden. And it'll tie all in, and you're like, how did he just do that? And then you write a book about it. Even Dr. Phil's going, how does this guy think of that much crap to write? So I'm only about a quarter of the way there, but it is amazing.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, that's intense. I was doing it. What I do is every comedian does this. I was outside the show last night with some guy in the Vegas show. I have a band So I'm telling them, and a couple of guys are very liberal in the band, and I was just like, I was doing this, and that is perfect. I am hating you so much right now. So, it was pretty fun. I mean, but it is, you're one of those type of people that, if I could get that impression would be really big. With like a lot of sports fans, the sports people. Like I waited for Barkley. I shouldn't say I waited. Once Charles Barkley got into commercials and stuff like that, that was where it really hit for me, because if you're in commercials, you don't just hit one audience. You're in commercials throughout the day on different programming. And then, the Barkley is all based on the word terrible. Charles Barkley doesn't say something is terrible. He says, "Oh, no, that was terrible. That's a terrible, terrible play." You're like, where are the vowels go in that word, So, I mean, but for me, it's all formula. It's always, it's fine.
So, in other words, so the formula on Charles Barkley is just the word terrible.
No, there's different things. And there's different things with you, too. These are just the first things I pick up. It's like he will pretend to like something just so he can rip it to shreds right after that. Be like, I love LeBron, but it doesn't play in the defense. He's a terrible, horrible, triple ding-dong knucklehead. And he always sounds hungry. That's why everything relates to food. It's like, speaking of ding-dongs, I'm hungry right now. That'd be pretty good. Like Bush would get to the end of the sentence. He couldn't think of that last word, and you find yourself kind of rooting for him to get it. It was like a scene from The Waterboy. Like, you can do it, We talk about the terrorists or something serious, like these terrorists. These guys are bad. Look, you had two choices. That's not good. I'm sorry, but that took too long. And I've been working on the Obama impression. I don't have the voice down yet. I'm relying mostly on my physical resemblance to him.
No one does.
No one. How is it, Frank?
Him down.
How is it that no one does anything on Barack Obama?
Well, it started. I mean, when I first started, it didn't work at all. It was very difficult. I tied it into a lot of different things. I think we started out in my watching politics at all. Like Clinton was this smooth guy, right? He could talk. Bill Clinton could stand in front of you right now, look you directly in the eyes, and say, "I am not here. You do not see me," and he'd get away with it. Bush, we talked about that. So he was kind of the regular guy because we get tired of types. So we started out with Slick Willie. We went to Bush, the regular guy. People got tired of that. Now we're back to the slick talking Obama type of deal, which leads me to believe our next president is going to be like, "Get her done." So
I think you're right. I think you're right. After the first term of Obama, which I predict will last 25 years.
25 years! I was with my cousin the other day.
Okay. Hang on just a second. Hang on. We're with Frank Caliendo. Hang on just